Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another installment of Scott's Selections here on Thursday, May 23rd. Before we end up getting into today's card, we will be recapping what happened yesterday. Unfortunately, we picked up a loss with the Los Angeles Dodgers on the money line at minus 129. Sharp money came in on the Rays, didn't think it mattered. The game actually went exactly the way that I thought it would for about the first 6 or 7 innings. Rich Hill was fantastic again. I said he'd go 6 innings strong, and he did. It ended up being 1-1 before the Dodgers bullpen came in and gave up 7 runs in the 7th inning after Kiermaier threw somebody out at the plate the top of the inning, or the top of the 7th. So it didn't really work out there, but overall, it's kind of a shame because all the other leans we had won, particularly with the Yankees with the over 6.5 runs of plus 110. That went easily. And this video is also coming out later because of the fact that the play or the main game that I'm going to be talking about is going to be at 8:30, and because the Yankees had a day game today and they had a thrilling comeback against the Orioles as they just won 6-5, thanks to an Aaron Hicks walk in the 9th inning. But with that being said, we'll jump right in to a very limited betting card since there is no hockey on, and since a decent amount of games today were day games for some reason that's unknown to me. But with that being said, we'll start out with the game that everyone wants to talk about, which is the Game 5 between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Toronto Raptors. Total opened up at 218, been bet all the way down to 214.5, but still available at 215 at certain spots like Bovada. In terms of, and the spread is currently the Bucks -7. Now, at first glance, 7 looks like a really large spread, and I have the same thoughts that most of you have here, which is how can the Bucks be favored by 7 in a game after they just got destroyed after they just lost badly in Game 4 and ended up losing in double overtime in Game 3. For me, I have to lean to Toronto here. I know that if I had to assume anything, I'd say that sharp money will come in on Milwaukee because of the fact that the spread looks very questionably high, so it looks like a potential trap line. But Game 1, Milwaukee covered. Oh, I actually recommended that one, except for the fact that Milwaukee pretty much should not have covered that game. And I'm pretty sure they did not cover for about the first, I'd say, 47 minutes of that game before Brook Lopez took over. Game 2, they destroyed Toronto. That's fine. And Game 3, Milwaukee probably should have won that one, lost. And Game 4, Toronto absolutely destroyed Milwaukee. For me, the issue that I have with Milwaukee right now is with Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's my pick for the MVP, but Toronto's been deploying a type of wall defense ever since Kawhi Leonard has been switched on to Giannis to guard him one-on-one. Giannis has not looked the same. Am I surprised by that? No, because Kawhi is the best defender in the entire league, and now he's being able to guard Giannis. But the main thing is that Giannis should be able to destroy Kawhi because Kawhi's been dealing with some leg injuries, but Kawhi is just an absolute warrior on the court, and he has been fantastic, and I would not be surprised to see Kawhi continue his success. However, offensively, he was not great in Game 4. He was pretty good selectively, but he really didn't have that great of a performance as Kyle Lowry was tremendous offensively in Game 4. And the bench with Powell and Van Vliet also helped carry the squad. But in terms of this full game spread, I lean to Toronto plus the 7. I think this game will be really close. And in terms of the total, the fact that the total's been bet down 3 points makes me believe that the under is the right side here. So I will be leaning to the under 215. Which is available at Bovada, and I will be leaning to the plus 7, which is available at pretty much any book that you want market-wide. However, it is actually available at 7.5 on Heritage at roughly -105. So I personally lean to Toronto plus 7.5 at Heritage. I think this game will be very close. Do I think that Milwaukee's going to win the game? Yes. But personally, I would not be surprised to see Toronto keep this within a one-possession game late in the fourth quarter, so I will lean to Toronto there. However, the main lean that I will have in this game is actually going to be a quarter wager, and I personally like the Milwaukee Bucks -2.5, which is available at -119 at Bookmaker. Something that I've noticed throughout the entirety of the playoffs, that the team that returns home, whether it's Game 3 or Game 5 or even Game 7, they're fantastic in the first quarter. It just seems like that the team knows that after they completely got embarrassed or they lost the game on the road, they have to come out swinging. And I would not be surprised to see Milwaukee try to lay it to Toronto early on. I think that Toronto did come out to a very solid first quarter performance in Game 1. But game 2, Milwaukee knew they had to come out focused, and they ended up destroying Toronto in the first quarter. In game 3, Toronto came out focused in the first quarter. They won that. Game 4, Milwaukee was favored, but Toronto came out focused. They ended up winning. The home team so far in this series has won the first quarter 3 out of 4. And after Milwaukee just got embarrassed on the road in Toronto, I would expect Milwaukee to come out focused, and I think that Milwaukee will come out making some type of adjustments that I think Toronto will need a couple of quarters to adjust to. I trust Coach Budenholzer. I think he will come up with a game plan that will originally give Toronto some issues for the first 12 or 24 minutes. So I will lean to Milwaukee minus 2.5 in the first quarter, as I expect the Bucks to get it going, and I expect the Bucks to let Toronto know that they're not about to roll over. And I think that the first quarter wager minus 2.5 makes a lot of sense there. So that is my main lean on that game. But moving on to the baseball card, first game in roughly 10 minutes, you have Perez versus Harvey. Twins open up at minus 137 down to – it's kind of a split line. You have minus 128 at one spot, but you have minus 140 at bookmaker on another spot. For me, I lean to the Twins here. The game got rained out yesterday, but the Twins had a nice 3-0 comeback. They were down 3-0, scored 8 unanswered runs 2 days ago. And Matt Harvey's terrible. Perez is 5-1, solid pitcher. So for me, I'll lean to the Twins there, and the Twins lineup should be able to get to Harvey early. So I will lean to the Twins in the first half run line, as I don't trust the Twins bullpen, and I will look to stay away from them at all times. Moving on, you have the Indians versus the Rays with Yarbrough versus Plutko. For me, the Rays are currently a minus 125 favorite. Lean to the Rays there. Total's been bet up from 8.5 to 9.5. No thoughts on the total. I lean to the Rays, though, as the Rays bullpen looked great yesterday against the Dodgers, and their lineup woke up with 7 runs in the 7th inning. So I think the Indians are still overrated, and I will be leaning to the Rays on that one. And moving on, you have the Astros and the White Sox. Astros finally lost the game against the White Sox yesterday after a grand slam given up in one of the later innings. But you have Martin versus Giolito. Money's come in on the White Sox, actually. Houston opened up at a minus 200 favorite, down to minus 185, give or take. For me, I'm betting on the Astros there. I'm not going to personally bet it, but I don't really see why you'd want to assume that the White Sox will win back-to-back games against Houston. Houston's the better team. They simply just had a bad pitching performance yesterday from the bullpen and the starters. We did recommend the over in that game, though, with Cole on the mound. And Novo. We said that Cole focuses a lot on strikeouts, and he has the ability to get roughed up. Definitely didn't have his best stuff. Novo was okay, but that game ended up flying over the total. In terms of this game, 9, I lean to the over there, and I'd also lean to the Astros in the money line, but that is a very juicy price at roughly minus 180. But we'll quickly give a brief reminder of our sponsor, PointsBet, a new up-and-coming online sportsbook in New Jersey. They have a lot of great deals. They have 2 risk-free bets of up to $1,000. The NBA playoff deal, for example, if you have money on Toronto, if you have Toronto money line tonight, and Toronto is up 1 after 3 quarters, you win your huge plus money bet, and you do not have to worry about Toronto choking another fourth quarter lead away to the Milwaukee Bucks. That's a perk. And there's also an NHL deal where if the team you bet on's up by 2 goals at any point, then you win and don't have to worry about blowing a 2-goal lead. You can cash your bet in as soon as possible. But with that being said, the main lean, no play of the day, but the main lean will be on the Bucks minus 2.5 in the first quarter at minus 119 at bookmaker. And other than that, that'll do it for this installment of Scott's Selections here for Thursday, May 23rd. Stay tuned for the tennis selections video, which should be coming out later today. But with that being said, good luck to all of you and your respective bets today.